All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys being so patient. I see the four of you out there. I am just having a little bit of a technical difficulty. So just give me a second and I will be coming on camera. I am just fixing a little glitch. It's the one time you don't test something and then it goes wrong. All right, so let's see here. All right. There we go. Okay, so that was just weird. All right, guys, so we are live. I'm super excited. I got my sippy cup. I am all ready to go. We're going to have a lot of fun today. As usual, when we start out, I want to know where everybody is watching from. So, those of you in the comments, let me know the city and state where you are watching. And let me know how you heard about this show. I always like to see if people are coming from Facebook or Instagram, or if you've already been subscribed on YouTube. Let me know where you're watching from. I tried to make it so that the delay is really short, and that I can see the comments right away. So hopefully, once you guys comment, I can see it. Anyway, I want to do a huge shout out to my patrons, my Yonsters. You guys are amazing and are so supportive, and I appreciate that. I can give them a little bit of inside scoop on things before they hit the main platforms, and I try to give some behind the scenes footage and all that. So we have a good time. So shout out to my patrons on Patreon. Anyway, I'm gonna see who is in the house today. Let's see who we've got here. We've got a couple people. All right, guys, just give me a second. You know me over here. I'm trying to get my little screens together. Y'all, I thought I was really on it today, and it's just like everything's falling apart. All right, here we go. All right, so let's see who's here. We've got Jerome. Hey, Mark.
Jerome's in the house.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, I'm so happy to have you guys. I have so much fun with everybody, and I love the surprises of not knowing who's going to be here from week to week. So thank you for joining us. This is your first time, isn't it, on the Sunday night format?
For me, yes.
Yes, perfect. Okay, where are you watching from? What city and state?
ATL.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we've got some people commenting here. Leo from Facebook, nice, representing Atlanta. Shay, hey, she said, hey, I'm watching from Oregon. Oh, hey, okay, love, yes, Sheree Nicole. I always know them by the names, the Facebook. Okay, perfect. All right, so we're gonna get right into it today. I have my little agenda. Now, did you get a chance to watch the fight? Did you get a chance to see?
I didn't watch, but I saw the after. So, yes, I do know what went down, how it went down. And I don't want to talk about the Tyson Roy Jones Jr. I want to talk about,
yes.
I want to talk about Nate Robinson, right?
You said what went down. It's more like who went down.
I'm from New York. I know Nate Robinson well. He played for my New York Knicks. He looked like somebody shot him. Like, dude, what are you doing? And he had on his shoes, but in the Knicks colors. He represented us in a terrible match. I'm so upset. And I don't know if you saw afterwards, the guy that knocked him out, and people were calling him Jake from State Farm, which was a killer. It was hilarious. He had on Nate Robinson's jersey and was posing in Nate Robinson's jersey. If that's not
that picture,
that is total disrespect. Nate Robinson's a talker, right? He needs to go away for the next 10, 15, 20 years. That's how ugly it was. So, Nate, you my man, 100 grand. I can't do nothing for you, brother. Sorry, don't.
Have you seen
please,
the memes? The memes are ruthless. Like, have you seen it, Marcus?
Oh yeah. But so you know their history, right?
I am so sports illiterate, so please break it
down. So he's a YouTuber, and they've been having words. They've been having words online. So it was kind of like, well, let's take it to the ring. This was his second fight.
Oh, just his second.
He wasn't a boxer.
And he's not a boxer.
You're talking about the YouTuber, not Nate.
Yes.
Right. This was only
he's 26. He's 26. He's 26.
Yeah.
So it's not like he got in the ring with a professional. This guy's on YouTube. He has a lot of followers.
It looked like murder. I've seen people.
Did you see the meme? Did you see the meme when Tyson and Jones were, it was the end of it, and
he's in the background.
I said that was cold. They like he's still there. That's just cold. Oh man,
It was
the last time he knocked out. He wasn't moving for a long time. I was like, I think he's dead because he wasn't.
I thought he was dead.
He was just laying there and wasn't moving. They were all on him trying, and he was not moving. And I was so happy to see him move.
So Marcus, here's the realness. I put out a call to my people. Is Nate Robinson alive? Like for real? Because again, it looked like he took 2 shots to the head. That's how bad.
Well, the first one he got him behind the ear. That's gonna throw your whole mind
equilibrium off. Right, exactly.
Right. The second one, he caught it nice, but that third one, I was like, wow.
Dead.
Tyson said that when he's fought before, there are times where you kind of don't know if the person's gonna get back up. Like stuff can happen. So
Tyson looked good.
He did look good. Yeah.
He can't go out and get no championship belt, but he could beat a lot of fighters. I mean, he looked good.
What I said?
I felt bad for Roy. I was like, and Snoop Dogg was the highlight.
Everybody's talking about Snoop Dogg. Like, this is Showtime, you need Snoop Dogg. You need to revive your channel. Here's the thing that cracked me up. So I'm not a huge sports person, but I had recently started to listen to Tyson's podcast, and so I was excited to see him, live. But it was just so interesting because, with fights, normally you hear the roaring crowd, and you get energy from the crowd. Well, it was so weird because, the announcer's doing his full thing, and then you hear like, yay! You hear like the 12 people clapping. But what was so crazy was this is the first fight where I could hear everything. I literally heard everything the ref said. I heard the guys breathing. They're like, you don't normally hear the fighters. Like, I said, my God, they are so tired. And the little trainer dude, he was getting on my nerves because he's just like, yeah, dude, you just gotta like effing like knock him out, just like effing like I was like, bro, no, like this did not sound like the person who would be in Tyson's corner giving him the little pep talks. Oh my God, but I just felt like that was one of those things that you have to see because at any point someone could ask you like, where were you when the Tyson fight?
Listen, it was the whole broadcast the whole thing was a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. It was a lot better than what I thought it would be. Even Tyson Roy, because at first I know they changed it because at first they was going to have headgear on. It was going to be all these special things, but they let him fight. But the Nate Robinson thing, that was the highlight because I didn't know he was fighting. That Nate from basketball?
Exactly. For my team, the New York Knicks. My team. He repped us terribly.
I need to go back and watch it because I was working on this show, so I'm doing all my little notes and getting stuff ready. So I have it kind of going in one split screen. So all the pre-fights, I was like, not really watching it, not realizing that's going to be the talk of the town. So I need to go back and get my tea so I can be prepared. She says, I am mad. I missed it. I love boxing. Like, I couldn't date somebody who did, was a boxer because that would just get me. I was actually just flying. I just flew home a couple days ago. And on the flight home, I finished watching Creed, and
I love that movie.
Oh my God, I could not be the girlfriend or the mom. Like I would just be too much. Anyway, all right, so let's get into this next topic. Have you guys heard the situation going around with Kevin Hart's joke about his daughter?
No.
What's up, girl?
Hey, lady.
That's my boo thing. Hey, how you doing? Welcome.
Girl, I'm exhausted.
Oh, you tired? What you been doing, girl? That you can say
packing.
Oh.
Yes.
Going somewhere fun that we'd like to share?
No, I'm packing up my apartment to move into a house.
Oh, that kind of packing. That's right.
Yes. That's right. Lessons. Congrats.
Thank you.
Teresa. Welcome.
Thank you. Happy Sunday, beautiful people.
Happy Sunday, making your debut. I'm super excited. You guys, we just finished talking about the Tyson fight, and we are getting into yes, anything you would like to add, because we were unpacking the poor little guy who was sleeping in the ring.
Oh, poor Nate. Poor little tink. But if you would have told me some of these things would occur in 2020, I would be like, you're lying.
Right.
There was actually a Tyson, and I didn't forgot, Roy Jones Jr., that's what it was, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And a Roy Jones Jr. pay-per-view fight that people actually paid for, I would be like, you're a bold-faced lie. But the fact that that is all we have for entertainment is sad yet telling of what 2020 has been. When the two old uncles can fight and people actually are entertained.
You're so
yes,
right.
it was good. It was good. It was good entertainment.
Yeah.
I was so
And I would give it to Tyson though, because he was in pretty good shape.
He was.
Yeah.
And he was
You know?
I told him I can hear him breathing hard.
Mike has made a career after boxing for himself.
He did.
Carved out a nice niche in life for himself. And Roy has said it's true what they say about Mike. Everything hurt when he hit you. Like
I believe it. I believe it.
So,
yeah, I like Mike Tyson. I don't know if you all ever listened to his podcast.
That's what I was saying. I watch his podcast.
Need to check it out.
I really enjoy it. My favorite episode as of late was when he called Bootsy out. I was like,
that's what turned me on to him. I didn't know about that show. And do you know, this is a little bit of a tangent, but there's two totally different sides to this. There's the side that I'm on, which is that he respects Tyson. You know, Bootsy respects Tyson, and he better dumbfounded. But that's what they're saying. He was saying that he was dumbfounded, but like you could see he was mesmerized by the questions and the stuff that he was sharing. And at one point, the co-host said, "What do you think?" And he started to say something, and just was like, "No, just keep going." And it was almost like he recognized he was in this place to receive all this wisdom. The other is saying, no, he was just terrified of his hands.
There you go.
Okay, so which side are you guys on? Because I think it's possible for somebody to be humble and listen.
Well, I think it's a little bit of both, because in real life, I'm sorry, like, have you ever seen Mike Tyson's hands? Like, real talk.
Yeah.
And in real life, if you've ever seen him fight, he bit a man's ear off. Like, come on, bruh. I don't think I'm going to challenge you, because Bootsy ain't bigger than a minute. He ain't bigger than a wet noodle. So I'm sorry. I just don't see him.
I've seen Tyson during an interview where somebody said something to him twisted, and
it was about the rape thing.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah,
I thought Mike was about to take that cat's head off on camera. He did not care. He cursed. Listen, I'm a big Mike Tyson fan, and I used to box up until age 13 when I started to become master of my universe, and my boxing coach said, "You can't mess with girls." Done. Like, over my boxing career. I used to work out with Mark Breland, and unless you old school from Brooklyn, you don't know who Mark Breland is. My brother used to spar with Hector Macho Camacho. So boxing was my thing. Like, serious, especially because I was left-handed. So I used to watch Hector Macho Camacho. When my coach said, you need to leave the girls alone, I was like, deuces, I'm out. So boxing is my thing. Mike Tyson, whether you are in the ring with him or outside the ring, is no one to mess with. No. You remember him, Marcus, you remember him with Mitch Green up in Harlem, took him to him in the street.
There's an interview with the Locks. I don't know if y'all know who the Locks
is. I saw that interview. Come on, bro.
They were saying that they were someplace, and Mike Tyson came, and he loved them. Hey, guys, what's up? And Eve was there, and Mike was like coming at Eve sideways, right? So they were like, "We're gonna have to stab Mike Tyson."
You could
they said that they were trying to figure out how, like, who was gonna take the first punch and who was gonna stab him, because they was like, Eve is like our sister, and Mike was like, "Yo, what's up with her?" Trying to hit on her, and she was feeling uncomfortable. And they was like, we're going to have to stab Mike Tyson. Like, they was afraid. They was like, know how they going to do it.
You got to
that's real.
Them that were saying this, and they were like, yo, who going to take that first one? Because this is Mike. Like, and we talking about cats, like, from the hood, like, straight up hood.
So, like, whoever's first going to get knocked out, we know that.
They already had it.
The other two need to be prepared to just stab him until, so they did. Yeah.
Mike does he have any daughters? Does Mike Tyson have any daughters?
Yes,
I think
yes,
so.
and
He's
remember,
thinking like, if I'm a guy, I'm not wanting to date her. Like,
remember, he lost the daughter
He
tragically.
did. He
that's
did.
right, with that freak accident on the treadmill, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Forgot about
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he is somebody. He's the ultimate proof that you can change your life around. Like he was at the
Correct.
top. He was at the top, and he
Yeah.
fell so far down. Then he reinvented himself, and now he's doing like a third act.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
I
so
love I love the things that he shares, and it's so similar to a lot of stuff that's happening on my journey. I think it's so crazy how everyone kind of goes through these phases in life and they get this enlightenment along the way, but it's parallel, which it's the truth, because how can all these people in different parts of the world
right.
have the exact same experience? But he was just talking about how we put so much stock in all these things that are really, they're just mirages. They're not the actual thing that gives you happiness. And he was talking about how he's had money, he's had the women, he's had the fame, and all the people fearing him. But at the end of the day, that's not what genuinely makes him happy. And I love these conversations. And this is the type of stuff that I literally want to do with my platform, is go deeper, because I feel like there's so many shows. There's a place for this, the sitcoms, and there's a place for the slapstick, and there's a place for the lighthearted banter and the pranks. But I also think there needs to be a place where people can get the meat. It's like there's candy and sweets and desserts, but sometimes you need that meat that can really hold you down. And I think in this day and age, when we're bombarded with all these messages, like if you just get this car and you get this chick and you have these clothes, you're gonna be happy. And so these people kill themselves to get to this place, and at the top of that mountain, it's cold and lonely and desolate. And so I love having conversations with well-rounded people who can really shed light and help people avoid some of the pitfalls that maybe.
I'm gonna tell you something that really shifted my mind behind exactly what you're saying. My cousin, and look him up, Byron Hurt. He's a documentary filmmaker, bad dude, and we have a men's group that we meet up in Harlem, and he said everything that we as people want are the things that are the baseline and the basis of white supremacy. We want the money, right? Because supremacists take their money and they use their money to oppress those who don't have. We want the lifestyle. How many of us have said, you know what, if I knew that I could have possibly gotten a kid and had the means to get my kid into college, like some of these people in that college scandal, would I have done that? So he was just breaking it down. There's so many things that we want that are truly the basis of white supremacy. And it all starts with money and material things. It's all about capitalism, honestly.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a hollow, a hollow reward for that.
It is.
I have a friend who, to this day, he will argue with me. He said money will make him happy. And I just said, if you're not happy before money, it's not. You might get distracted a little longer, but you're not. Okay, so how many of you guys saw the Kevin Hart, at least the piece that's been going viral? How many of you?
No. I don't have the capacity to watch it. I'm sorry.
So the reason I found out about it is because there's this new app called Clubhouse, and it's crazy. There's already competition out there, and it's still in like the beta phase where it's being tested. But anyway, it's this app that allows you to have conversations similar to how we are having right now, but it's something where everyone can tune in with audio. Hey, friend. And so everyone can tune in with audio, and you can join different rooms and have conversations. So Kevin made this joke. He stopped by one of the rooms in order to promote his new special, because there's not the traditional ways he said you can promote it. But anyway, his joke was that he said his daughter was creating or was exhibiting hoe behavior, or hoe what did he call hoe activity. So people were up in arms, and so I wanted to know, yeah, Jerome's face. So what is your thought? Do you feel like there's a line that needs to be drawn when it comes to comedy? Because some people are saying it's comedy, like leave it at the comedy stage. It's not like he was having a conversation, on a talk show and was like, yeah, my daughter's, it was part of his routine. So, what are you guys' thoughts? Do you feel like that's going too far?
It's like real talk is comedy. I don't know the context of the joke, so I can't say where he was coming from. But realistically, I mean, there have been comedians who've said words.
Yeah.
In reality, they've said words. And at the end of the day, Kevin has to explain that to his daughter, not me, not the rest of the world. So when your daughter sees this and she's like, Daddy, why the hell would you say this about me? He has to explain and justify and work that out. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Her mama is the one who got to smack him upside the head. I don't. So, I mean, I think, first of all, I just think we're at a space and time where, now granted, I know some things probably shouldn't be said, but I just think, especially when it comes to comedians, we're at a space and time where you're criticizing them for doing what they do. I mean, take Dave Chappelle, for instance. Dave Chappelle going to say everything.
Yep.
And somebody's going to be mad.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, most of it's funny.
Yeah.
Even when you're mad about it, the shit is kind of funny. The stuff, I forgot, is kind of funny. So I'm just saying, yeah. I don't put too much stock in when comedians, especially if it's part of his comedy special,
right.
I just don't put too much stock in it. Now, if this was him, savage, ooh,
yes,
if it was like you said at an interview or something, then I'd be like, yo, you're disrespectful. Somebody should pop you.
Right.
But that's just me. I don't put that much stock into it.
So, Yonci, my question is, was this stand-up or was it him just coming into a room and maybe just rapping and talking? What was the context?
So he did not make the statement in the room. He addressed the statement in the room. So on his special, he did the joke. And the joke was the daughter, she was having crushes. So basically his joke, the crushes, it was whole like behavior because she was crushing on this guy. And then 5 minutes later, she's crushing on this guy. And then, so that was the joke. He went to do his, like, you would normally do your rounds with the different networks.
Right. Promotion.
A promotional tour. Well, he came into a room, it's just audio. So it's thousands of people listening. And so he was trying to defend. People were really upset about it, but he was like, it's clickbait, it's getting people to talk about it. Like, obviously we're talking about it now. And he's like, the point is to get people to pay for the special and watch it. Because I don't have traditional means of promoting it. But I don't know. I feel like comedians have a lot of what is the word? Leeway. They're given a lot of leeway because it's considered jokes. I feel like they get away with what nobody else could.
Right.
But like you were saying, is that if it's funny, you can get away with a lot more. So you can get people to laugh at themselves. So I don't know. I personally
I feel like if he cleared it, so if he's written. Listen, most comedians go to their families before they try out material. Most of them do that first and foremost. So if he's cleared that with his daughter, and again, it's jokes, I'm okay with it, right? And nobody should be up in arms over, like Latoya said, it's jokes, right? And because I know with what I'm doing on social media, my daughter was very clear, right? Dad, I love you. I love what's happening. Don't put me out there. Cool.
Right.
She was very clear about that.
Yeah.
So I know I'm not going to put my daughter out there with respect to that.
Yeah.
He has that. He had to have run that through his daughter because that's just what most comedians I know do.
That's a good point. Anthony is joining us. What's that, Mr. Galbraith?
First of all, he called his daddy a whole crackhead on stand-up. So I'm just saying, now, granted, I would never, if I was a comedian, be like, he didn't call her a hoe. From what I've heard, the snippets I heard, he said it was hoe-like activity.
He said hoe-like behavior.
Yeah.
Behavior, right. So, you know what I'm saying? I personally would have never did it. But, he called his whole daddy a crackhead.
How old is the daughter now?
That's
I think she's a teenager.
I think she's like 16, 15 or 16. He said how old she might
be, somewhere between 14 and 16.
Yeah.
So she's starting to date. And you know how y'all daddies get when daughter's ready to date.
Listen, I know that.
Little problems.
Yeah.
I got a gun when my daughter was born. So yes,
exactly. But you know how y'all get. So y'all see something and y'all up in arms. Blackish just did a whole episode about it.
Oh yeah.
Bray was mad that Diane wanted to talk to the little boys.
That's as a father should.
And wear her little outfits. And the other little twin, I forgot that child name, had his little bird chest out, and Dre was like, "Yeah, my man's getting his clicks."
Bird chest.
Seriously, and it was like a whole thing. So I mean, the world is up in arms for some things. Absolutely, they should be. For some things, I'm just like, why are we talking about this? And this is one of those things, especially because
we're in COVID.
That we have become the politically correct police. Like everything is offensive. Everything is something horrible. It's like I don't even understand how we got here. Like I grew up listening to Red Fox and Richard Pryor records that sneaking to listen to.
I was about to say.
You need a beating.
I was sneaking, of course. Me and my brother.
Anthony says it's comedy. The beauty of comedy
is them being like super inappropriate, and it's like now everything that somebody says is scrutinized to the ledger, and it's like people's careers end based on one faux pas, and we in this cancel culture now, and it's like people aren't allowed to make mistakes anymore.
Yes,
or people aren't allowed to be kind of real in their talk and their speaking and their thinking.
Okay, so let me challenge that. 50 Cent said he's not a comedian.
Oh, this is about
no. But we talk about cancel culture. 50 Cent said he supported Donald Trump. Cancel him.
Well, actually,
he came out a couple of days later and said F Trump.
Well, actually, he didn't support the taxes.
Well, yeah, so that's what he was saying. He was like, nobody's for paying all these taxes,
Right, that's what it's for.
Yeah. And he's not the only one that feels that way. A bunch of them felt like that.
Little Wayne was on stage with him. We cancel him, or has he already?
Nobody ever cancels Lil Wayne. I don't know why they don't, but they don't. Tunechi will drop an album and all those fools be like, "Oh, did y'all hear that Carter 3? Oh, did you like for whatever reason they just disregard the stuff he does and keeps him." So I'll never know. They talk about him, but here's the thing.
I think it's like that for every famous
Lil
person.
Wayne been Lil Wayne for forever. Like this dude was quick to be like, "Well, all cops aren't bad. A cop saved my life." Lil Wayne was the quick to be like, "Well, why do I have to say Black Lives Matter? Because blah blah blah." So I mean, people expect Lil Wayne to be Lil Wayne. I do think cancel culture has some misogynistic undertones, however, very much so. I'm not even going to say some, very much so.
Wow.
But it does. I mean, I can give you an example. Chrisette Michele. Sister sung this thing in her delusion. She thought, oh, it's bridging a gap. Wow, I was like, sis, is you crazy? Why would you sing for this man? He don't like you.
That money.
But she did it. She needed her money. And I get it. But when I tell you that sister got drugged through the cold. She's still getting drugged through the coals. 4 years later, has honestly apologized, which I would have never. I'd have been like, F y'all, I ain't no horse y'all rode in on. But she apologized. She's kept a low profile. She's come back and done other things and tried to do things for the community, specifically talking about mental health and all those things. And yet, and still, people still side-eyeing her. But Wayne,
there was a gospel singer that was actually performing with her.
Travis Green. We can say names.
Right. I
couldn't nobody say nothing to him.
His name. I couldn't remember his name, but I'm like, he missed a step and he missed no chance.
So
he was right on stage with her. He was right there with her.
Because she's a black woman, she got dragged. I agree with that because
and forever banished. Like she
I still don't understand why. And this happened like I think last year. Kanye came to my church here in New York, and it just happened to be a Sunday that me and my wife did not go to church. Trust and believe, if I was there, that would not have went off very well. It would not. And I don't understand why I'm still seeing people buying Kanye sneakers, supporting his music. I just do not get it. So yes, when you're giving me that example, yes, I will say that it is misogynistic, and it's us men that need to come correct or not come at all. That's real talk.
How many people still support R. Kelly?
Yeah,
Facts, which is
I think
horrible.
that
real. That's real.
I think that, you know, a lot of times my issue is when people can dish, they can't take it. So I'm in a little bit of a different vantage point because I'm in the spotlight to some degree. There's a lot that goes on, and I, in my little short career, have dealt with stuff, and people are ruthless. There are people who will get 1% of information that's completely wrong, will run with it, will start whole smear campaigns. I have people starting YouTube channels and everything. Like, it, people get wild, and I think that I have a little bit, I guess, more grace people in the spotlight because nowhere else can your living be, you know, jeopardized so quickly as somebody who's in the public spotlight. Because you could be in, you know, working for State Farm and be an a-hole.
Yeah,
no one's coming for your check. You know what I mean?
So,
You could be a full wife beater, you could be whatever. But if you're in the public eye, there's a different standard. And these people have not professed to have their whole lives together. They just like singing, or they just are good at whatever they're good at, or they look good, they're a model or whatever. And the way that people just judge, it's so wild. And I have this thing where, you know, the Bible says, judge not lest you be judged. In the same manner you're judged, you're going to be judged. I've seen so many people have such strong opinions about something, and give it a few years, they're in that same boat. And a lot of times it takes the person being in that boat to go, ooh, let me give grace. For example, somebody that chooses to talk about their relationship, and people are like, I would never do that. And then they get in that situation, and then they're talking about their relationship. I think sometimes we're too quick to judge. And, you know, I try to separate the artist from their work. It's one thing if I know somebody is a racist and they're using their money towards tearing down the black community or whatever. But just because I have a different political opinion than somebody, I'm not going to not support them if that's, you know, if they make a movie or they do whatever. I'm personally not going to stop watching if I like them. Because, you know.
I draw the line at the R. Kelly's because my issue is what he's doing with women to young girls is destructive, and we all know if it was the other man that this was happening to, he would have been locked away a long time ago. And I also draw a line at support for a person like who's in the White House, who to me, my entire life, right, I've known, and he's a resident of New York. He was born not more than 2 miles up the road from where I am right now in New York. I've known him my entire life to be a racist pig. Any support for him is the support for all that he is. So with him and that, I draw that line. I agree that there are other things, and I've said it. If any of us had to live our lives in the public eye, we would want that grace. But we don't give that grace until now. The roles have turned around, and so I'm with you on that.
I love this. Anthony said, poor Anthony, I tried to read his comment like 3 times. He said, it's easier to judge a performance under the spotlight, especially when you're sitting amongst the dark and the rest of the audience. And that's exactly how I feel. You know, when we would do the podcast, people would have these opinions. And fortunately, I didn't have to get too much of it. But people would just be relentless sometimes if you are certain topics you talk about. And my thing is, why can't you just disagree? Why does it have to be that I am the worst person in the world and oh my God, it could just be you just disagree. You know, and people just, if you don't agree with them, you are the devil themselves. So it's crazy.
There are a few things I feel about that. Like, there are a few things, if we disagree on that, you probably are the devil. No shade. There's only a few though. But like to piggyback off Jerome, like, unfortunately there has to be a line in the sand for certain things. With the Donald Trump thing, funny enough, so I'm a little bit younger than Jerome. And I'm not from New York. So there were things about that, the resident of Pennsylvania Avenue that I did not know until I got older. So when I was younger, it was no big deal. I'm like, oh, he's comical, he's annoying, whatever. But when I got older and I learned things, I was like, oh my God, this guy is awful. And so I had to unsubscribe to thinking he was comical and all these things. But it's because I didn't know, I didn't have exposure to him or who he was, because I was a kid when a lot of those things happened. So why would I know? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, there are a few things. I'm sorry, buddy. If we disagree on those, yeah, I'm sorry. And like, I'm with these people. Like, I try my best to give grace in all situations. I try to at least hear the full story before I even form an opinion. But
even with the disagreeing and think that they're the devil, for me, if there's something I agree with, I'm not gonna sit there and have a whole war on. That's what I don't understand. Like,
oh, and I'm not going to war with you.
Yeah, it's like all this energy of, like somebody just trying to take you down and convert you. And it's just like, walk away. Guess what? Keyboard.
You don't exist to me if I think you're the devil. It's just that simple. As soon as I'm like, oh, you're one of those, you go into the box of Never Never Land that I never see again.
I joked. I said I want to do a show where you could take somebody who has this nemesis, right? This keyboard warrior nemesis who crouches in the dark, like Anthony was talking about, and you have somebody who's in the spotlight, because it's easy to throw stones from your little dark corner. I said that would be obviously legally would be a nightmare, but I would love to be able to take the celebrity and bring them to the doorstep of the nemesis and be like, what?
I've seen that.
Like,
I've seen that.
I've
seen that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Sugar Shane. Was it Sugar Shane? I think one of these boxers, this guy worked at like a record store and was on camera going in on this boxer. And homeboy walked in and said, yo, homie, let's go outside. Like, for real. And, dude was like, nah, I was just playing. And the boxer was like, nah, you about it, on the camera. Come on, let's go outside and let's handle this. Like,
I would be nervous.
People change their tunes when they're in person.
And that's the thing with social media. People, hide behind the keys, right? And I know in my early years of being on social media, I used to say to people, I could come where you are. Like, let's have this conversation head up. I don't care who you are.
Don't let the screens get in the way.
I'm the baddest cat I know, so I could come where you are. Give me the address. I'll come to you. Like, seriously, that was old me. Now I'm just like too old for all that. I don't have hands.
I have actually seen somebody put it on YouTube where this guy was talking trash about him, and he tracked him down by his IP address.
He was real big. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah,
and he went to his house, and he was like, "Yeah, are you so and so?" Like, he was inside, and he wouldn't come outside. I think his girl came outside, and she was like, "No, I don't want that here," and she had to go to work, and the dude just stayed outside his apartment. It was like, "You got to come out eventually."
I remember seeing that. Like, he was camped out outside.
Yeah, he found him by his IP address.
Yeah. I've seen people I know do that. I've seen like people I went to high school with, like people I grew up with. I have seen them go and knock on the door with their phone in their hand. Like,
well, if you ever see my show, it's gonna be called "Keep That Same Energy."
Yes.
I remember one of the first.
I've been sucked in too, and I told somebody, I was like, so you don't? I'm within 5 miles of you. Are we really doing this on Facebook? Like, you don't think I can come see you?
I'm like that with the car. I'm like that. I mean, well, let me say I'm reformed now, but I had a moment where I had a bunch of kids in my car. I think I told this story privately with you guys before.
Yeah.
I had the kids in my van. Ooh, I don't have a minivan. In my truck, and I had tiny little children, and they're like darn near running me off the road because she's trying to get me to drive this twisty turny road. Now, granted, I'm not about to throw hands. I've never been in a fight in my life and don't plan on it. But I want to have a whole conversation with her because she's honking her horn, and I'm like, "You want me to tip my car?" She wouldn't even turn to look at me. So it's like people just have this, extra boldness that they wouldn't have. I remember one of the first people I ever had to kick out of our group, and she was so disrespectful. She came at me so sideways. I was dumbfounded because, like, I don't beef in there. Like, it's not that serious. And so all this time went by, and I remember being at an event with a friend. We were at some little day party. And all of a sudden I just hear Yonci. And I'm like looking, hey, and I'm stressing because I don't have a good memory. So I'm like, how do I forget a whole person? I have no recollection who this person is. Come to find out, she was someone from the group because you just looking at people's little profile pictures, you don't know everybody's face.
Right.
So come to find out, she said, I'm so and so, so and so. When she said the name, it clicked. She said, I was having a really bad day. I had just found out that my boyfriend had cheated on me with my best friend, and she basically took it out on me. But her energy was so different. She wanted to buy me drinks. She's like, we saved you a seat in the section, all this stuff. And I was just like, it's cool. She's like, please let me back in the group. People just get really comfortable when they're online. Like, you just gonna pop, like, how do you just pop off at somebody because you're upset about your personal life? Like, I did nothing to you, ma'am.
That part I don't understand.
All right, I'm gonna ask you guys. What'd you say?
Don't go online then.
Yeah, stay offline. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys a pop question. Okay, like last week. So I'm gonna start with Jerome, and then we'll go counterclockwise. I hope you guys all see the order the same I do. All right, you can get $1 million cash or food for life. Which one are you picking?
$1 million. Because I'm as an investment professional, I could turn that 1 into 10.
Okay. All right, Latarai. Did I say it?
You said it wrong.
Still did. I tried so hard to practice. Wait,
it's Lateri, right?
Lateri.
Latera.
How do I say it?
Lateri.
Latera.
It's Latera.
It's pronounced A, but it's spelled with an I. I remember.
Latera. Latera?
Latera.
Man, I promised myself last time I said I'm remember it's a long I. And Latera. Okay, see, that's what's throwing me off. Let's change the spelling on this Zoom so that I'm just playing.
Don't make me call my mama girl.
Man. Okay, so Latera, what would you pick? $1 million cash or food for life?
$1 million cash. Pretty savvy at investing. I could probably get a few more out of that.
Okay. And what about you, ma'am? Ashante?
Oh yeah, I'll take the cash.
Take the cash? All right, Mark.
Yeah, I'm a
cash on me.
Dang. All right, Teresa?
Oh, definitely the cash. I do some income shifting for sure.
Oh, she said definitely. How much do you guys, if you had to guess, how much do you guys think you spend on food in a year? I'm talking groceries, snacks, meals, everything. Beverages, alcohol.
I don't know. Because a lot of times I go to my mama's house, stop playing. So I always...
Well, I have grandbabies, so...
You can't have kids.
I have 4 grandbabies.
I do not have children.
Child, them crow snatchers eat you out of house at home, honey.
Listen, and this is one of the reasons why I don't have them. Listen.
I know I'm at $600 a month, and it's just me and my son. Like I go to the, especially
what do they eat? Oh no,
no, I dropped $250 easy.
It's just one now. I was spending more when it was 2. It's my oldest is grown, so it's like.
I guess this is how my mother feels about me because I still come to her house and be like, "You got some ground turkey in the freezer?
Look, you staying in that woman's fridge."
Hey, she loves me. Okay,
I know I'm close to 600 a month, especially with
600 a month. Yeah,
the school ain't splitting these lunches no more. We ain't no snacks, no lunches. It's just all.
And they be having their summer stomachs, don't they?
Not the summer stomach. I don't understand though how you feed a child. They eat a whole meal and 10 minutes later be like, "I'm hungry." I had to teach my daughter the difference between hungry and wanting a snack. Because she's hungry and I'm stressed out, like I gotta make her a whole meal, and she just wants some pretzels. Like, girl, next time just say you want some popcorn. Like, don't make it sound like you need a whole meal.
I don't even think boys can recollect that. Like, I think that they just think they should be eating all the time, like constantly, just snacks, all snacks.
Correct.
All right, so we're gonna get into the meat of the questions now. We've done all our little small talk and whatnot. Let's get into this love, dating, sex, and relationships, which I love to get into. What did he say? Oh, Anthony said 1 million and flip it. People live in tents today and get free food for life. Ooh, he said how much I make again. All right, so here's my question. So this question was posed in the group, and I loved the diversity of the answers. Somebody made a statement saying that if you are new to a relationship, anywhere from the beginning to 6 months in, there should not be arguing. There should not be spats. You should not be, fighting, not fighting, but, disagreements. And I thought that was a very bold statement. They were saying that's a bad sign if the first 6 months. So I wanted to hear you guys' different take. And before you answer, I want to say this. I think there's a difference between kiki dating, where you're just batting your eyelashes at each other and having sex, versus intentional dating, where you're really unpacking and getting to know the person and uncovering things within those 6 months that most people don't tackle for a year. That being said, what do you guys think? Is it the sign that your relationship is doomed and off to a bad start, or is it a normal, healthy thing?
So now I just need clarification. So you said there should be no arguing or debating, because an argument and a debate are two different things.
Not debating, like
screaming and yelling at each other.
Right. Well, yeah, I wouldn't even go so far as say yelling at each other, but it's like you're getting into it. You're having disagreements, basically.
But disagreement is healthy.
I would say depending upon what those disagreements.
But I think that the screaming and the yelling part is the part that you shouldn't have within 6 months.
Yeah,
I
would agree.
Temper or overreacting to a disagreement. And I can remember past relationships that I've had, and we didn't have like a real argument for like a year. Like able to. And that's what I look for in a relationship or in a guy, is like, can you handle a heated debate? Because I debate passionately about all types of different topics. So
especially with people who don't show their picture, named Antoine.
I'm in silence. He's not here.
So it can
wait a minute.
So my passion cannot be confused with malice. So we're gonna have a problem if you can't take these heated discussions and debates.
I just need to say this for people who are watching on screen. We do have other guests who have not joined us here, but you're able to hear them from time to time. So don't be alarmed and wonder who is speaking. It is those.
Hey, Antoine.
Well, I was gonna say this. Antoine's getting called out, but there's a young lady. Her picture's not.
Yeah.
No, Dominique. So that's why I would not call her
doing it, bro. I appreciate you, Marcus.
However,
I'm just telling you, man.
Antoine is my buddy. That's why I did that. That's my buddy.
We love Antoine.
Don't fall for it, fellas. You know they did that on purpose.
It's Dominique. I missed it. I was like, who else is here? Okay, yeah, Dominique.
She didn't miss that. She did not miss that. They're part of the He Woman Man Hater Club. It's okay.
That's for men, Goose Troop. That is not us.
I only knew you were here because I heard you. I didn't even know she was here because I don't have her on the screen. I only have the videos on the screen. So
some could say that's even worse.
Thank you, Marcus. That's worse.
Because you heard
Marcus.
I know he's here because I heard him.
Marcus.
At least you did hear him.
Marcus.
Hey, Mark, you should be on here every time because they stick together like glue. You know what I mean? It ain't too many of us on here that get together. It'd be me by myself primarily.
Our bond is strong. We just stand for the side of truth. That's all it is.
That's all.
They
just happen to always be on the side of truth together at the same time.
We don't.
No, they stand for the side of sticking together for the sake of sticking together. They be lying together and everything. Don't let them fool you.
Antoine, I am shocked and appalled at you.
No, we never lie.
I know the men stick together because y'all still blocking our blessing on the gray sweatpants post. So let me not get into that with all company around.
Don't fall for that. Don't fall for that because they still ain't
getting the booty shorts and socks. Can I just
that beard post was nice.
Praise him.
That beard post made me about jumping somebody. I was like,
but somebody who's not on screen, Antoine, has yet to post his picture, but we're going to not discuss that.
Wow, she's gone too.
You know what? Let me ask YouTube. YouTube has been around. YouTube has heard him for a couple of weeks. YouTube, I keep looking at my phone like they can hear me if I look at my phone. YouTube, do you guys want to see, comment right now watching, do you want to see Antoine? Are you anxious to see his face? Do you
don't do that
violated in any way that you don't get to participate?
Don't do that.
I am stargazing with the moon. There's nothing but midnight clouds and darkness and the sun and the moon glow.
Ain't nothing that some flash can't fix.
It's a beautiful full moon.
It's a beautiful full moon.
Antoine is a catfish. That's why, y'all. No shade.
I'm telling you, he's like a redheaded senior citizen in Nebraska somewhere who has infiltrated the ranks.
Wait. He's been on here. He's shown his face, and then he
When?
bounced out.
When did he show his face?
When did he show his face? He's like Wilson on Home Improvement.
Thank you, Jerome. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. That's what I'm saying. Don't laugh at they jokes, man. Don't do it.
I ride with him.
When did he show his face? I have yet to see this man.
I don't remember him showing
you got
his
some
face.
allies this week.
His video was on one time. I remember his video being on one time, but he wasn't showing his face. He was
I was
showing
gonna say we saw the hookah lounge. We didn't see
the hookah.
Hey,
the first week I was on here.
Thank you, Jerome.
Video, but no face.
Hey, listen.
We get plenty of that voice, though. We get plenty of that mouth.
Lord, child, yes, we do.
Hey, I don't like the way you said that. It sounded a little. Hey, listen. Wrong folk conversation. Now, I feel like Teddy P right now. It feels good when somebody loves you back, man. I love my brothers.
That's how you feel.
Down, you know, they sticking together. We ain't got men on here taking their shirt off for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't got
I don't want to do that. My wife will kill me.
Antoine is so excited that he has
a shirt off incident, Jerome. We had a shirt off.
We did have one, but he's just excited he has some people on his team this week.
My vodka.
we ain't got men standing up acting like they stretching on a bowl. You know, like no one ain't got nothing to stretch. You feel me? Like we ain't got none of that. You know what I'm saying? It feel good. I feel like
yeah.
I'm waiting for these comments to come in because there's a delay. I want to know. People want to see your face. I think we need to start a hashtag. You know, show the face. Show the face.
Let's get back to your question. What was your question again?
Look, wait. Now all of a sudden we doing turnips. Huh? We doing turnips.
That's how you do. That's how you do, Jerome. Keep, you know, they do turnips all the time.
We trying to stay on top of these masters.
Yep.
We trying to stay on
turnip.
All right. So fighting too soon. If you fight,
I don't.
Yeah.
Fighting is one thing.
Right.
Disagreeing is different. We're both imperfect humans. I don't know how the hell my wife put up with me some of the time, like for real. So yeah, I don't see anything wrong with disagreements because we have to learn each other. And you know, in learning each other, there may be some things that in terms of expectations that I may have, and maybe I just didn't communicate them in the right way, and that she may have, and they weren't communicated in the right way. So that's going to create disagreement. But to be in yelling, screaming, fighting, man,
Yeah, no.
I'm too old for
drama. You don't mind the arguing. It's just how you do it. As long as it's
absolutely, yeah. Here's the thing, right? Arguing is sexy as a mother, right? Like
you making me think that post the girl was like, I like to fight.
Seriously, it's so because
she was like, I like to fight.
Like so I call myself a professional arguer, right? Because I was a law school student. So for me, when you get into a disagreement with me, it's over because I'm not gonna stop until you're like, you know what, leave me the hell alone.
Me too.
Like serious. I'll take the disagreement from here and go all the way around until I get that W for real.
Lord Jesus.
I would definitely be an attorney right now if I didn't have kids so early.
Look,
for real.
That was pretty long too.
Yeah,
you're probably the type that they think the conversation's over. Y'all,
and they're like, and one more thing.
2:00 in the morning. I wasn't done with my point. I had some other things that I wanted to talk about.
I need
to talk about them now. Let the record show.
Look, I'm the person who doesn't handle hypocrisy. So what I will do is you will set the rules, right? We come with a blank slate, nothing written down. And then you come and you do something and I say, noted.
I'm petty like that. I'm petty.
That's exactly how I am.
I'm petty like that.
And
Tuesday, it was September 2nd at 12 o'clock.
And then I would sit back. Yes, I will sit back and I'll say, you know what? It's funny that you had a problem with that specifically.
Because y'all are hilarious.
On the 12th of September.
It's never funny. If I say, you know what, that's funny, it's never funny. It's never going to be a joke.
It's true.
There's no ha-ha coming up
to laugh about in what I say next. That's funny because it's not funny.
That's my biggest pet peeve, though, where it's like, you went so hard in the paint coming from my head saying I'm the worst person in the world for leaving the AC on and then leaving the house. But yet you came in the house, left the AC on and left, but all of a sudden you want to give excuses. What now? Now what? but I was the devil himself when I did it. You cannot have the exact same thing. So it's like for me, I need a partner that's gonna be like, my bad, you know, you're right. You got me on that. Because
I'll right you automatically when I'm wrong. I know when I'm wrong.
That's wonderful.
I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. I'm just not ever wrong.
Well, here's the thing.
I will apologize.
Who defines wrong?
Yeah, I'll apologize.
Well, I'm not going to say wrong, but if I've done something and it's not pleasing to my wife, I will apologize for it and work my ass off so she'll never have to bring that up again. It's that person when you have to say the same thing over and over, then that apology is worth nothing.
Nothing.
I don't like when people take ownership when they do things wrong.
Can you imagine if there was like a people's court for relationships and it was literally like, this would be so funny. If there was like a chat room, maybe that's going to be my room that I do on the Clubhouse, okay? So because I just joined that. But imagine having a room that constantly had live bodies in it. And when you got into an argument, you're like, y'all, let's go to the couple's court.
Right,
You're like, you plead your case. You literally you have your 2 minutes and he has his 2 minutes and you plead your case, you know, court, you know, jury, this is what happened. I left the AC on, but the reason I did that was because by the time I got back, it would, you know, and you give your case and then the other person says their case and then whatever the court decides, a jury of your peers, because sometimes I feel like if other people heard what you said, sir, they would be like, sir, if you don't go somewhere.
It need to be strangers though. It has to be strangers to
That's what I'm saying. It's strangers, yes.
It'll be a hung jury because the women will go with the women and the men will go with the men.
That's not always true, Marcus.
That is not always true. I tell my girlfriends when they're wrong. I will tell my girlfriends.
I feel like women hold each other
up. You tell your girlfriends, you're going to stand up in court and say, you wrong. See, that's the difference. You tell your girlfriend you're wrong, but are you going to say in court you're wrong? See, that's the difference right there.
Girl.
I think women hold women accountable way more than men.
Yeah. Well, let's be clear. I only apologize when I truly feel like I was like I have to be given proof that I was wrong, or I have to really feel like I actually hurt you, because I am one of those people. I said what I said. I meant what I said. I refuse to take it back because I said it.
So wait.
Wow.
Listen.
You have to feel you hurt somebody. It doesn't matter what they're feeling.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's scary as hell.
At least she's honest.
I get it. I respect that. That's scary as hell. Because
I know. And part of me is working on that because I do understand that I cannot tell someone else how they feel, right?
Right.
However, depending on the situation, there are some situations where I'm like, did you not see your actions? And that's why you got that response. So why should I care that your feelings hurt? It's those situations where I'm like, if I, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's
if I know it was me who did something, and then
what sign are you?
I'm a Libra.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, that's when you want to be right more than you want to be in a relationship.
Hey, don't be putting that on me. I don't want to be right more than I'm in a relationship.
There will be times that you are right, but you have to decide whether you want to be right or in a relationship, because you are dealing with a male ego, and it's not. Child,
I struggle with that. I really did.
Oh my God, you guys!
It's not just the male ego. Also, it's.
They always try to.
I know you see me leaning in.
I ain't scared. It's to keep.
I'm on bated breath right now.
It's to keep the peace in the crib, right? Because if you knowing that the disagreement is getting nowhere, you're like, you know what, babe? You know what? It's on me. I got you, babe. I got you.
Well, I am a walk away now. I will say that, Jerome. If I feel like we're blocking horns and it's going nowhere, I'll walk away to kind of just dispel it and potentially come back to it later. Depending on once
you didn't dispel it to begin with.
What I'm saying, like if it becomes a thing where we lock horns, I'm gonna walk away because I'm not one who's gonna keep going back and forth with you. I'm saying I don't apologize when if say you and I got into an argument and I said, well, that's why your eyeglass is crooked, and I don't care if they break.
Oh, damn.
I'm just saying, as an example. I am not, they're not, I promise you. But I am not the person who will come back and be like, man, I'm sorry that I said your eyeglass is crooked, and that's why I won't, because I meant it.
So that's not sticking to what the disagreement may be about.
You don't
right?
fight fair.
I will never get into a disagreement with my wife and take it to somewhere that's personal, because those words you can never
puts me over the edge. I
you
can't
can
come back
never.
from that.
I could never.
But that's my point. If I say it legitimately, I'm not taking it back. So I'm very mindful with my words. Let me put that out there. If I say it, I meant to say it. I know I'm not taking it back. However, if I know it's something that I later on am going to be like, damn, I need to take that back, I'm going to shut myself. Oh, I'm going to shut up before I let it come out. So that's why I say I do not apologize for the things I say, because when I say it, I know I'm saying it with the intention of never taking it back.
So here's my stance, and I have a rule. I feel like there's fighting and there's fighting fair. And so for me, I can say, I don't think there's anybody that I've dated that can ever say that I was nasty to them. I might be sarcastic and passive aggressive, but I won't call somebody a name. I won't say, and this is why your mama don't mess with you. Like,
ooh, I won't do that.
There's certain levels that I just won't go. I will stick to the topic, and I'm like a dog with the bone. When I know I'm right, and that's what I'm working on. When I know I'm right, it's really hard for me to concede. And when you said this about the male ego, I really want to ask this question, because I was going to bring this up in the group, but it's probably good here. I have a very hard time when I know something is true and right and leaving it alone. And I feel like that's prideful, because, you know, like you were saying, LaShante, that sometimes you have to decide if you want the relationship, you want to be right. I have found that with men, because I'm attracted to very strong alpha types, they do not do well being corrected. And it drives me nuts. It literally costs me my podcast. And I'll just leave it at that. If people want to know more, go to my Patreon. But I have found that when I tell alpha males, you said this, and this is the receipt. You said this is a standard, and this is what happened. When I correct somebody, it doesn't matter if I say it gently, if I say it during a calm phase, it doesn't bode well with me. And it makes me wonder, do I just always have to shut up and play dumb?
No, what you're doing is holding that man accountable to his word.
But their head explodes and the relationship always ends.
Yeah, I have no issue being held accountable to my word. Like, the hardest person in the world on me beside myself is my wife, and I'm cool with that. I may not in the moment. Like, I put something on social media a few years ago that was like the ghetto me, like when I was younger, and my wife came home and she was like, let's talk about that post. Like, that's not your brand. That's not who you are. And as mad as I was when I put it out there, because I wanted the message to get to the person who it was intended for, she was like, but Jerome, that's not who you are. So I'm going to need you to think about that and decide what you want to do. I immediately took it down, because that's that woman holding me accountable to what she sees of me.
Like, that's very rare. Most people
like
Yonci to their pride.
But I think that's the difference between alpha males and narcissists.
Yeah, well,
it's a level of maturity also. It's a level of maturity. Ego, like, I read a book about ego, right? And this book about ego is that thing that you see that you disagree strongly in another is in you.
Yes.
So
literally
when you have that thing that you're seeing in that person and you're strong about it, it's because it's in you. And that mirror that you're looking in is not comfortable. So therefore, I've learned when you remove ego, you're removing me. I'm taking me out of it. I'm taking my pride out of it. I'm taking my, whatever out of it. And for me, it's bode well. I have it. I can have an ego, but I choose not to have an ego, man, because I love that chick, like, for real. Like, ride or die. That's my girl, my wife. So, I'm not. There's no ego in this trail. Like, real. No ego.
Sorry.
For real. Oh, ego.
Oh, it's going to rain tomorrow.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh. Man. Look at him. He's smiling.
You know what, Antoine? I'm going to apologize. I'm going against my own word. I'm going to apologize. I need to clean my camera.
Y'all are killing my man.
Is that
Look at Yonci.
Is that? It is.
What's good,
He
brother?
is a real person.
And we just lost him.
Look
He
at
is
God.
not a catfish.
Wait a minute. But you see, it's like moving shadows and darkness and.
Hey,
Giving you what
we
he could
lost
give you.
Marcus. We gained an Antoine and we lost a Marcus. I was in.
I know. I was like, why did the screen shift?
Antoine giving you what he could give you, my man. And it went dark again, brother.
Because Marcus,
Antoine, I am proud of you.
Baby steps.
Yes, let's give you a hand clap.
Baby steps. We acknowledge growth. And we want to.
Y'all was catfishing him and the whole night.
No, listen, I just apologized, Jerome. You heard me say it.
But Tara said, wait a minute, I said I was sorry, damn it.
I love it.
Listen, I apologize. And I meant that shit, but he proved me wrong, so I apologize.
He heard me wrong. Jerome, so to your point, when you were talking about the thing, because I'd always heard that and I always thought it was some bull when people say what really bugs you in somebody else is what's in you. I dated this guy and it was almost comical because there would be things that would bother me. And he would literally project them onto me. It would be like, I'm joking obviously because he's not a woman, but he would say like, I can't stand, that you're wearing a V-neck and he's wearing a V-neck. I can't stand that your hair is past your shoulders and his hair is past his shoulders. I can't stand you have 2 eyes and a nose and he has, like everything that he said was literally him. And I'm thinking to myself, if somehow you could somehow not see me, but you see yourself, you could correct all your problems because you have literally identified every single thing that's keeping you from being great down to, I mean, like such specific stuff. And I'm like, wow, you're able to identify this stuff. But boo boo, you don't realize it's you.
You, yes, wow. Absolutely.
Marcus, you were going to say something. I didn't want you to forget your point. We were also, thrown off by.
You're on mute.
Oh, what I was saying, what you describing is not male pride. That's not male pride. I mean the male ego. The thing you're talking about, that's not male ego.
Oh, narcissism. Yeah. There we say.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Hey, Marcus, I'm happy you're back, bro. They tried to jump on me when you left, man. They tried to do it, but Jerome held it down, man. He held it down for the one time.
Something going where he's like,
you and told you growth and everything, and look at you.
You know what? I must admit that she did, show symptoms of growth. She ain't grown yet, but she showed a little growth. She apologized. I'm really happy for you. I'm really happy. I am ecstatic.
We're witnessing progress in place.
Yeah.
It's about growth and maturity. Like Kelly said on Insecure, that's growth, boo. That's growth.
That's right. See, look, when the man show up, man, they you gotta keep them honest, man. They gotta grow, man. That's all it is.
He said that's not alpha, that's alfalfa. I can.
I'll be with you, Antoine.
And Yonci, I triggered Anthony. I feel bad.
I know. I saw that comment. Oh my God.
I said sorry. I'm nice. I'm really nice. I'm super sweet.
Yes,
I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of your growth. Congratulations. You know what?
But your glasses better not be twisted if you're in an argument.
They better not.
Jerome, that was an example. Don't do that.
Whatever, man.
He fixed his glasses immediately.
I only picked with him because I too wear glasses. So it was a good example.
I'm over here adjusting them.
All right, guys, you ready for this next one? I want to know how long is too long to be engaged? At what point are you like, bruh, come on now? And it doesn't have to be bruh, it could be sis. It could be like Jennifer Hudson. She's the one.
Listen, I'm going to tell you, when I saw that 10 years, I stopped reading. First and foremost, I'm not being with you for 10 years and we are not elevating. I'm not being engaged to you for 10 years. Like, real talk. Listen, I'm just not, okay? Like, listen, I'm all for, like, I get relationships taking time, and especially when you're young. So, like, my longest relationship was when it started when I was, like, 24, 25. So we were together for a long period of time, but, like, we were still kids in my mind. Like, because the woman I was then and the woman I was when we broke up, two totally different women. And marrying him when I was that young woman compared to the woman I was when we broke up, we wouldn't have worked. Me being the woman I am now, we wouldn't have worked because we didn't grow together. We grew as two individuals in the same space, right? But realistically, bro, I'm not giving you 10 years of my life and we have not gotten married. We have not agreed that we are cool with being in this mutual partnership without the legal documentation that said, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just not doing that.
I'm going to say, it depends upon the circumstances. And I say that because, for example, my second wife and I, we dated for 5 years before we got married. And part of that was the fact that I was still living in North Carolina and working in North Carolina,
that even though sense,
every weekend, every Friday, I was on a flight to New York, and every Monday morning, I was headed back to North Carolina.
That makes sense, though, Jerome.
So, but how long were you engaged? The engagement part.
We got, so I'm going to tell a quick story. I had surgery on my knee in 2012, and just before I was headed back, I had the surgery here in New York, and before I was headed back to New York, we talked about getting engaged and getting married. And that's what she said. It really hit me to my heart that nobody's ever chosen her, and that was really emotional. And my question was, but I still live in North Carolina, even though I was looking for jobs here in New York. Do you want me to still be a long distance relationship? She said, no. I got back to North Carolina, and I kid you not, she hit me up. She's like, let's get married on my birthday. Cool. Let's do it. And that's how. So we got engaged in February of 2013 and married in September of 2013. Wow. So, yeah. So again, it depends upon the situation. Also, it depends upon the age. Like, as you're older, that window is really small. You ain't got time to be playing around, right?
Yeah. After 40, you're not
when you're younger, right? And my first marriage, I got married at 21. Yeah, I was not old enough to understand what I was getting involved in. That should have been longer, but it was not. But this, man, I knew what I wanted. So yeah, it's definitely different. It depends upon the situation.
But I think we're saying the same thing, Jerome. Like I was saying, when I was younger, the length was fine because, I'm still figuring things out. But now, let somebody be like, oh yeah, we're going to have a 5-year engagement. Sorry, who? Who going to do that? Not me. Not her.
Because you know what to ask now. You know what to look for. It's like if you get to the point where, and for me, like I dive into everything head on. Like I don't do the whole I hate small talk. Like I don't do the whole he. You got about 1-2 conversations out of me with small talk. Let's get to do you want children? Are you willing to relocate? Like I want to get into those things, and it's fun. We do it in a fun way, but I'm not trying to be 6 months down the road and I don't even know your faith, or 6 months down the road and I don't even know that, you're infertile. Like these are certain things you just need to get information of.
But I'm gonna tell you what my grandmama said. My grandmama said that a crackhead can hide themselves for 6 months. So I'm just saying what my grandmama said.
Not around me. Not around.
I'm just telling you what my grandmama said, child. I'm just telling you what she said.
Hell no.
What's up with these long engagements? Like, what are people trying to get to? Like, what are you trying to figure out? What are you trying to see? What are you trying to see about this person? Like, what are they hiding? Like, what's up with these long engagements? I don't get that. I've never gotten that far.
Because I feel like if you're at the point where you're engaged, you should have already made that decision. And
correct.
I thought the engagement is for the purpose of preparing the wedding. Like, and so.
Well, why does that take 2 years?
They might not have the money. Somebody said that in the comments. Why
does engagement take more than a year? Like, what's so important about the wedding besides the marriage? Like, is the marriage more important? Is the wedding more important?
Look.
The marriage.
I'm trying to figure it out. It don't make sense to me.
Listen. We know some people get engaged just so nobody else can get them. Come on now. Come on. Let's keep it real. Come on.
That's a lot. People get married for that reason as
well.
Ooh,
you're not ready. You're not ready for that. She or he is ready for that. So what you do is you put them on layaway. Come on, now. That's what that is.
Facts.
Yeah, I think
That's a good.
I think that's whack
right
though.
there.
For me personally, like that's whack. That's
Oh, it is whack. It is whack.
That's
You know what I mean?
It's definitely whack. But that's why they do it.
People around here hurt, man.
Let's not say they're still trying to find themselves and all that. That's what it is.
Yeah.
They can't fully commit and they don't want you to go nowhere, so they're locking you down.
I'm trying to see why women fall for that though. Why do women fall for that? Why do men fall for that? Like, why do people fall for that?
Because
I'm trying to figure out where this conversation comes into play.
I'm gonna say it depends on what story you're sold though. Like if somebody is telling you all the right things, their actions actually align with all the right things, even if they're not ready, then you're believing their actions, even though they're thinking something totally different. You're going to fall for that. Now, it's another thing if none of their actions or words align and you still falling for it, then you just being dumb. But some people, again, it's all about knowing who you are as a person. I think one of the biggest problems in this whole long-term engagement, all that stuff like Marcus said, is that people aren't sure of who they are. They jump into these situations to kind of hold somebody to them because they don't quite want to let it go, but they're not quite sure. Yep. And then you get stuck. And that goes for both men and women, because I know plenty of women who jump into stuff, they still trying to figure out, do I even like this person? Do I even like me? And then they're stuck. And then it's like, then people fall into the conundrum, oh my God, all these years have gone by, so I might as well stay. And I ain't with that. Life's too short to stay when you're not happy, when you and this person do not align to serve the purpose that y'all are here to serve. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So my next question would be, if that's the case, then why do people, what is the big rush about trying to be with somebody? Like, why are we rushing to be in these relationships when we know we're not ready? Like, what is it that we're missing?
Society has put the pressure on a lot of us. I'm not even going to just say women, because even with men now, society puts this ridiculous pressure on us. Be like, you have to be married by a certain age. You have to do this by a certain age. Oh my God, God forbid you become a mom for the first time at 40. Like, these are the things that society does. And depending on your village and yourself, you may not be able to take the pressure. So people do it so that they can align with these societal norms versus living life the way they're supposed to do it, and living in their purpose and aligning their life with their purpose. So unfortunately, a lot of people have not gotten to that place of enlightenment where they're like, I don't really care about societal norms. I'm going to do this my way.
And I think a lot of people get to disease.
Some people are afraid to be alone.
Single?
And that's it.
What'd you say, Mark?
I
said, and some people are afraid to be alone. They're afraid to be alone.
I think
definitely afraid to be alone. And I think this is the thing too. I think that a lot of times people confuse the tension and the disagreements as being, oh shoot, I'm with the wrong partner. I think sometimes you are with the partner. Her partner will bring out of you what you couldn't have gotten by yourself. And I think that if somebody is looking for somebody to never have friction with, oh, that's my partner, that's not reality. Because all of my rough edges, so many of my rough edges got smoothed out by my 12 years of marriage. Even though we didn't, we were not long term. There was so much that I would not have learned, at least definitely not that quickly, if it weren't for being in that situation. And so a lot of times it's through that tension that you grow. It's that iron sharpening iron. Well, that's scraping metal together. That's not a pleasant situation, but that's when you grow. It's like the diamond getting cut or the gold going through the fire. It's through those processes that you have that tension. That's when you grow to level up. Let's get into catching feelings. I want to ask is this, because somebody made a comment like they were bewildered that somebody could catch feelings over the phone, meaning you have not physically been around somebody in person. So I want to see whoever wants to go first. But Ken, do you think it's possible to genuinely catch feelings over the phone? If you're just FaceTiming or talking or whatever, you haven't seen them in person. You've physically been in front of them because FaceTime.
So my story with my second wife is that we dated in high school and hadn't seen or talked to one another in 25 years. Reconnected via Facebook, right? Mm-hmm. Our conversations is what ignited that thing. I got to relearn not the young Cecilia, but the grown woman Cecilia. And I could say via our conversations that, yeah, I fell back in love with her because of that. And there wasn't back when there weren't the pictures on the phones and stuff like that that we were sending back and forth to each other. It was just deep conversations. And to me, as an intellect, I love the conversation. So,
and yeah, it wasn't FaceTime.
Yeah, so I definitely would say, yeah, you definitely can. Especially, like I said, I'm an intellect, and I love to be able to have debate and conversation, and we definitely had that. So yeah, I would say yes.
Yeah, but you already knew her though, right?
I did know her. Correct.
Yeah,
you'd already been in her presence, so
yes, correct.
That's a little bit different. I'm assuming your question is y'all have never physically met, right?
You've never been in the same room, yeah.
Yeah. That could.
Oh, okay.
For me, that can only last for so long.
I think, well, for me, it's all about energy. So, you know, when it comes to catching feelings, like you guys can exchange so much energy, so many ideologies, and understand that when minds connect, that's also a big frequency that's going on too. So like the level of consciousness, all that brings about different feelings and emotions and everything like that, because everything's connected, nothing is separate. So over time, the more you converse, the more you pour into someone, the more you connect with someone, the more they pour into you and connect with you, that does bring emotional feelings. Howbeit, even if when y'all see each other, it may not be that, but understanding that a physical chemistry plays a big part in a relationship, that emotional and intellectual stimulation is also a big part of that too.
Yeah,
so you can be emotionally tied to someone's intellect.
Yeah, I totally agree. Does anyone else want to jump in before I get my take? What they giggling about? What did I miss?
Man, they hate, man. They hate because I'm on camera.
Look, I sent her a message. It was like, it's so strange not staring at the picture.
Oh, right? It is something different.
I know, we can actually see his lips moving when he talks. So
we can see that his beard connects and everything.
I was just staring at him like.
I was like,
you're looking at the second time you said something about these lips in my mouth, and they listen.
They said the beard connects too, man. They getting you, bro.
Those are compliments first and foremost.
That's compliments.
You better take these compliments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, you want your beard to connect. We don't want.
Go ahead, bro. Go get it, man. Go get it.
That is compliments.
Yeah, they want some of this. Hey, listen.
He has a driver's license.
It looks like he has nice white teeth.
He speaks like he know big words. Like all of
Facts. He got them SAT words.
Hey, I'm vegetarian too now. So you know you got some good healthy stuff over here. You know what I mean? When I poop, it don't smell. You feel me?
Oh, he's not doing this.
We better him be.
Oh my
God. Not doing that.
We're not taking it to the vegan side. Speaking of this poor man, he couldn't enjoy his Thanksgiving. They couldn't given him any twigs and berries. He said,
which is so funny.
Meat and his twigs and berries.
So you know it smells
You should have
good.
went to the Thanksgiving I went to. There were a lot of vegan options.
Oh.
Yeah.
My best friend and like 3 people in her family are vegan, so they always have like double everything.
That's like my worst nightmare, going to a vegan Thanksgiving. Like that.
Listen.
Actual.
No, there were both options. Like
why is that your worst nightmare? Shouldn't it be your worst nightmare that your greens got hog maws in it?
First of all, my greens don't be having no damn hog maws in it. So.
Shouldn't it be a nightmare that your string beans got ham and bacon cut up in it? Like everything y'all got meat. Like,
you in Texas. You gonna have to move out of Texas if you look at
Look, you're not gonna get a jury of your peers
to come further north if you looking for a pork not to be a vegetable.
Right.
My vegetables have smoked turkey in it. Thank you very much.
I'm from the country. I'm from the country, so you know all that stuff is in it.
Exactly. So I'm just saying. Yeah, they looking at you like an alien when you talking about being vegan and not eating meat.
You say they want to just get a salad, and then you see like the salad that's piled on. You got the bacon bits, you got the cheese, you got the hard-boiled eggs, ham slices,
a cup of dressing.
I got chicken strips, I got baked chicken, I got roasted chicken, grilled chicken. Like, man, you might as well go on and get you an old steak or something. What the little letters gonna do?
Oh
Look,
my God.
then they got a little bit of iceberg lettuce.
Ew, iceberg, gross.
I had posted a picture of a plate of bacon and it had a little tiny leaf on the top and it said, I got me a salad.
They so petty.
Oh my gosh. All right, so here's my next question. You and Bay are kikiing, you met online, you've only talked over the phone, the energy's tight, yada 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 yada. How long is it taking you to book that first flight so you can see each other in person in the flight?
It depends on if I'm getting flued out or not.
Cool.
Okay.
Look, there you go. All right, so if he's flying you, how soon? You going in 2 days? You going in 6 weeks? How soon are you flying out?
No, for safety purposes, there has to be some time restraints so as not to end up in a box and somebody be.
I mean, yeah, because I don't want to end up in one of those episodes of Fatal Attraction or nothing like that.
Nobody call.
Nah.
But how do you ward that off? I mean, if somebody wants to lie to you, they can lie to you. Like I've had people, string along a whole storyline, involve the family, fake work badges. I mean, if someone wants to lie to you, they're gonna lie to you. Oh yeah.
Now that's true. I definitely agree. I prefer to meet people organically. I've tried the online dating thing. I have not been successful at it, so I'm probably not the best person to ask that. I do think that people can develop feelings, via online, like conversations and different things like that. But I usually meet the people online that have a whole different thing going on, and
there's a reason they're online.
I have stories for days. I'm convinced that there are things that happen in life that can only happen to me. So I'm gonna.
People say that
when people add you as a friend, they can't say thank you. That's what it is. They can't say, "Hey, friend," when you add. You know how y'all want to do. That's what it is.
Thanks for the ad. Thanks for the ad. Let's unpack that. Let's unpack this.
That was crazy.
Yeah, what's that all about? Thanks for the ad.
Look.
Because I'm sitting up there, I cringe my teeth every time I get somebody said thanks for the ad. They about to come with this shit.
So awkward.
When I see a guy do that, I just shake my head. I just
I didn't know that was a thing, so I was confused.
You ain't the only one shaking.
Here's the thing, because guys were like, people were saying, what's the purpose of being someone's Facebook friend if you're not gonna, interact or whatever? To me, normal interaction is like building up to it. So maybe you like a post and you comment on a post.
Right.
And when there starts to be some, because here's the thing, and I gave a whole dissertation on sliding in the DMs. There is an effective and non-effective way. There is a creepy and a sexy way to do it. And just like in person, if you were at an event, let's say, for example, let's say you're at Popeyes, okay? I'm not getting paid, but Popeyes. You're sitting in your little booth and a guy comes in, you're a woman, and a guy comes in and slides in the booth next to you, pre-COVID. That's creepy as hell. That's invading your privacy, right? You're minding eating your little 3-piece wing, and he slides in your booth. That's what a DM is like. And so, obviously, the hotter you are, the bolder you can become. But the less attractive you are, you need to stay in your lane. So you need to get eye contact. So if you go back to the Popeyes thing, you do the little eye contact. So she looking at you, you catch her looking at you, and then you look back and you catch her looking at you. Okay, that's step one. You got that engagement. That's the little interaction on the post. Okay, she said something back, but now it's not rocket science. It's not a sure science. So it could have been that she was excited looking at the chicken sandwich on the menu, and you thought she was looking at you. So you have to make sure that the flirtation is really occurring. And so when there's that banter and you build it, at a certain point you can get to the DM. And then from even in the DM, double, triple confirm that there's a flirtation happening and she's not being polite. I just think that's just weird, like click, accept, and then you slid on in like, thanks for the ad. Like, bro.
Yeah, thanks for the ad. I didn't know that was a thing. I was like,
I'm confused.
I didn't. I was confused. I was like, I don't know that's a thing. That's a thing?
It's
so you talking
like,
about
morning, beautiful.
Thanks for the ad on MySpace, child.
So you saying thanks for the ad to your group or thanks for the ad to your personal?
So like when you friend somebody on Facebook, I guess the post was saying the dude's supposed to say thanks for the ad, but I'm confused. I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, it's a whole creepy thing. They say, hey, thanks
all the time,
and slide in your DM.
It's like as soon as you click accept on that friend request, here come the DM.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I get DMs without the friend request. So
I do have that happen, but not for the same reasons. And no, not so. Yonci, you know my group, right? I'll get people who are part of my
and then they're
Facebook
actually excited for you to add them. Yeah,
and they'll come to my personal page, but what they'll do is I keep my personal page very separate from my group page.
Right.
And I'm very clear about that. So they'll come into my personal page and they will want to talk about what goes on in my group page. I cut that off right away.
Nice.
And they want favors, right? Oh, can you put my business out there? And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And if this is why you slid into my DM, do know I'm blocking you right now because that's not how I flow. I keep it very, I had somebody, sweet lady, who tagged me on something on Thanksgiving Day. We shut the page down for Thanksgiving. And I had to say to her today, when I looked at it, I was like, I really appreciate you wanting to include me on this, but this is my personal page.
Right.
When I keep my personal page, very different from my group page.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm sorry, I'm very clear about that. But in the group, I'll have people say, thanks for the ad. And immediately I delete that. We don't have time for that crap. I don't need you here. Now just get in where you fit in. But I didn't know that was a thing. I'm sorry. I really didn't. I had no idea.
It's the same thing with me with my page. People will become my Facebook friend, which I really don't do it because it's now you're blocking up a slot for somebody else because I have 5,000. So I'll friend request them or whatever and then invite them in, which now I've cut it off because now that I'm doing YouTube and stuff, I want to keep those separate. But when I was, people would get to be my friend and they would literally start DMing me, oh, my post is pending approval. And it's like, okay, we're not crossing, because I'm not doing it maliciously. Like I'm literally doing something in real life. I'm not getting paid to do this. So it starts to become a little bit, hairy. But
I have 500, I kid you not, 500 invites to other people's pages. And they're all part of my group. Yeah. Like, I guess they think because they're in my group, I should be in their group, but they don't realize there's 500 invites. I'm not doing that.
I'm so glad you said that because there is such a tendency. And I think the thing, too, is that you're the same way and you and your team are the same way. You're very personable. So it's very easy to feel a connection. And I'm not saying it's fraudulent because it's not whatsoever. But there tends to be, people will forget the numbers. And so, it's like, okay, I'm doing this with you, but there are literally thousands of other people.
Thousands. Right?
If I were to do, that, it's just not possible. You cannot spread yourself that thin. So I've done certain things that allow me to mass produce or mass do certain things, or I have a process in which I do them. But it's hard sometimes not to hurt somebody's feelings because they do think, yeah, but it's me. Don't you understand? It's me. And it's like, yeah, but I would not get anything done.
Would not. No, it's way too many. And again, we have 168,000 people in this ridiculous group. And to get 500 people like, yeah, I would like for you to be a part of my group. Yeah. I cannot do it. It's just way too.
You're not going to be able to participate. Even if you did join it, you're not going to be able to participate. I literally don't even use Facebook. I go to Facebook and I instantly go to my group, take care of my group, and I log back out. I don't even scroll. I'm never on there. And so sometimes people say, oh, did you see my such and such? I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't. I would be on there for hours and hours and hours. So, all right. So this one is for the ladies. I want to know, ladies, what is it about a man that would make you want to settle down? Besides him showing his face in the camera like Antoine. Woo! I'm forgetting about this. The comments. He said, oh, that's cute. He's talking about Popeyes. He said, so you send her an extra chicken sandwich. That's super cute.
That's hot. Yeah.
Just Humble Me Clark says, I don't have anything other than Twitter or LinkedIn. And they were saying for the to fly out 1 month. Now, here's the thing, and I'm going to double back really quick on the flying out thing. I personally like sooner the better, because if I'm going to be disappointed, I'd rather know sooner than later. And also, you can have amazing chemistry over the phone and have zero chemistry in person. So for me, I don't want to wait weeks and weeks and weeks and be, getting emotionally tied in, and then come to find out, you said you were 6'3", but you're really 5'4". Like, I'm gonna need to know this stuff.
Catfishing.
You know what I mean? You can fry the catfish, just don't be a catfish.
Oh man.
What are you looking for that would make you want to settle down? What makes that one guy stick out above everybody else? Like, go ahead and put that ring on it.
Come on, Teresa, you've been quiet.
I'm about to say
Teresa, go first, girl.
I know, I was waiting because she looked like she was about to say something.
We all
Well, for me, I mean, I've been married before. I was married when I was 18 years old, and we was together for 25 years. So, but
silence.
Yeah, and then my relationship was after that was 6 years. So I haven't been single a lot in my life, and if I decide to cross those lines, it has to be someone. First of all, he has to be attentive. He has to be someone that treats his children and his mother and parents with so much respect and everything. That's important. The way you treat your mother is how I expect you to treat me, to a certain extent. So, someone who's kind-hearted, because I'm kind-hearted and down to earth. I'm laid back. Someone who's not in the streets, running the streets all the time, because I don't hang out and party and all of that. So, I'm pretty much a homebody. I love sports and all of that. So just someone who's just have so much compassion, that works for me. They can be themselves and all of that, but also be able to be attentive when we're together and things of that nature. So, yeah.
Okay, that's good.
So.
Now, if you would like to go on a date with Teresa, press one. No, I'm just playing. I had to go. Look, I had to go back to last week. Last week was wild, you guys.
Don't you do that. Don't bring that up. You better stop.
I'm going to just...
You better stop. Yes, sippy cup.
I have kept it to my my friends this week, and moving forward, I have made that decision. Just so I know what to expect. Just leave it at that. Oh, did you bring us to the hookah bar again?
Yeah.
That's what's up. He's living his whole life.
Oh, they're going to blow up too. Okay.
I just had a flashback with our friend who took us clubbing.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here. Okay.
Our friend that took us to the club.
Yes. Y'all, we have adventures on these chats. We have full-on adventures. Okay, so does anyone else want to express what would make that one guy stand out from everyone else, that would make you want to stay until you say until your end of days? I was trying to say until death. Who would you'd want to stay until death?
Authenticity.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Need you to be authentic and genuine. Peace out.
Humility is really...
Humility is a thing.
Because if you're so prideful, you can't say sorry.
Hey, listen, I justified it. So, whatever.
No, but I think, it's like you have times where you really might feel like you're right, or something might happen, or, just whatever. I think when you have pride, and I harp on this so much, but I really do think it's the biggest block to a healthy relationship, because
I would agree with you.
Somebody has to fold, and it can't always be that one person.
Right. I agree with you. I told y'all what I meant, though, in terms of my not saying that. I know. And I'm okay if you did, because, listen, I'm cool with being held accountable. I'm cool with, if I say some messed up stuff, I'm remembering it's you too. I am cool with y'all saying, hey, girl, hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm waiting for LaShante to answer the question.
Oh, LaShante.
Damn.
There's something in my mind that I haven't heard yet, but go on.
I wasn't finished, Doja, bro, but go ahead.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Oh. She said it so sweetly, though.
Thank you.
Sweet.
She said
so when I say authenticity is definitely a thing, but for me, the thing would be, I would need them to have relationship with God, and in the sense that they understand the capacity of it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was looking for.
And that, honestly, that's a thing for me. Like, now, mind you, I'm not.
Can he sing Amazing Grace or?
No, girl, you know what?
He can't be
so
that
I do have some conflict in religion and the concepts of, however, in reality, I subscribe to being a Christian, right? But while I still have conflict with some things about it, I need to understand that he understands the dynamic of that relationship.
Gotcha.
As it relates to God, as it relates to me, as it relates to us. So that is something that needs to be there. If it is not there, I doubt that I can be with that person wholeheartedly. Like, we may have fun for a little while, but eventually that will come into play. But I'm like, Yonci, like, I'm at a place where I have a best friend who's a therapist, and she's like a relationship, sex expert, sexologist, all this stuff. So there are questions that I ask now that I would have never asked before. But because of the conversations I have with her, you know, it makes me say, oh, these are questions I need to ask when I'm dating someone, versus just kind of being with the QC. Oh, you're cute. No, you're cute. Oh my God, you're cute. I don't, Like, we might do that for like a day, but then after that, okay, so what are your intentions? Where do you see your life? What does your career look like? And how do you think that impacts your family? Like, these are things I need to know. And I need you to know about me, because the fact is, there are certain things that I'm willing to compromise, I'm willing to change, but there are certain things that I'm like, these are who I am, and please don't expect me to change these fundamental spaces of me to accommodate you, type thing, you know? And those are real conversations, because those could be deal breakers for someone. So
yeah, I like that. Accepting who you are. I was just counseling somebody today, and I was saying that you really have to go into a relationship accepting them in that stage and not expecting them to change. If they do,
correct,
you have to just almost put it out of your mind that it can even occur. And that is, on the flip side, the most uncomfortable thing, when you're you and you're comfortable with how you are and someone wants you to change. So, like, you know, you're getting the real me. I'm super authentic. And so you cannot say, nobody who hates me can ever say, I didn't know this about you. Nah, you saw this from day one. I don't try to, I used to, when I was younger, try to impress a guy and put my best foot forward. And I realized that is exhausting. It's like trying to
correct.
I would rather you see me in all my glory. So you can never say you tricked me. I didn't know you were like that. Yes, you did. Because I can't.
So you remember that joke? I think it might have been Cat Williams. I'm almost sure it was Cat Williams, and he was talking about the representative and the star player. You getting the star player. That's it. Yeah. There's no agents, no representative. All you getting is this star player. Yeah. If you can't take this star player, gone.
And don't sign up and then later try to get a refund. Like, nah, Ninja, you saw.
Yeah, this is what you got.
Yeah.
So.
LaShante?
Yes, LaShante.
I think I agree to that point to a certain extent, because I'm Southern. And
you are Southern
for a reason. Because Southern ladies are very specific in their doings and the way that they act and are around people. Like, I think we have different personas, and I don't think I'll probably be 80 years old. You know, I even let a man see the 100% realness. I was married for 10 years, and I know there's certain things that he just never saw me do. And I'm never going to allow a man.
It's different than like your character, your personality. Because I was...
No, it's just like, I think that sometimes women expose men to too much of themselves too quickly. Okay. You know, I think that, yes, you should be transparent, but it should be in small doses. Like, you shouldn't give all of yourself too quickly. Because then, I mean, what is there for him to find out? What is him to learn or to know? Like, there are certain things that I think is going to come out organically in conversations that you have in the beginning. But I think that we rush that too. Like, you know, the conversation should be surface early on, and then they should build into this deeper thing, because then you telling every man you meet, you know, the deepest things about yourself. Like every person that I'm trying to get to know doesn't need to know all these deep things about me. Like it has to come out organically, and it has to come out over time, because then you'll know if this is somebody that you want to be in a true partnership with. And it can't be this whole, I interview people for a living. What I'm not going to do is have these quasi interviews with these people that I just met, trying to qualify them as quickly as possible. If be in my life for long periods of time, I think that that's what we do now, and it's like I interview people all day long. That's my job. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that in my personal life when I'm dating. Like I want there to be some surfaceness, and that's actually the good part. Like I don't want to know everything about you after a week and a half. Like
I can see your point. I guess
slow, because then I'm telling you, you will never, ever, ever get to know everything about a person. Yeah. Like you'll know the things that you need to know, but it's like sometimes you don't learn things. Sometimes it's 3 years in, and you just find out like something about a person that you didn't know about them. So I don't know if you put that much stake in knowing a person, because I don't ever truly feel like you 100% know anyone. But as far as for the things that are for me, I'm with you, Laterra. I'm about faith. Like I'm a Christian, so I would not be able to be in a serious relationship with someone who was not like a strong faith-based person. And I have levels to that too, just like Laterra was saying. Like it's not about somebody that goes to church every day or sings in a choir or is in the pulpit. There has to be a relationship there. And an understanding of who they are through their faith. So that's very important to me. Consistency is important as well.
Consistency is key.
That's one of my pet peeves. Like they have to be consistent, and they have to know what they want, and they have to know that thing is me. So I'm not with somebody who's like wishy-washy and doesn't know what they want and has all these different things going on. I'm not able to deal with all that either. Like he doesn't have to be so single focused in the beginning, but just like Yonci said, it has to be where you're building towards something. Like I understand that this is something that we're gonna do. But now I'm one of those people, like I mirror a person's energy. Like, if they're distant and disconnected, if he's distant and disconnected, I'm gonna be as well. Like I'm gonna play off of whatever you're putting out there until we get to that place where we kind of have a conversation and we're on the same page. And I want someone that's driven. To me, for a man to be driven, he has principles, and he's determined, and he has goals that he wants to reach, because I'm one of those people. I'm like that as well. So I want to discuss our goals and our future, and I want to have a conversation about where you see yourself, not because I want it to be about me, but because I want to know that you're thinking about what your future looks like, and you're goal oriented, and you have lists and sticky notes. Like I want you to be checking my
sticky notes though.
Yes, like I have sticky notes everywhere.
Look, you don't even want to see. I have literally, they're all in front of me on this desk. Like I have sticky notes on sticky notes. Like they are. You see them on my counter? Yeah.
I'm a note taker. I write things down. I have sticky notes everywhere. Yeah, so it's like
nobody gets out for Christmas sticky notes.
Yes.
Different color, different sizes.
Yeah. So I tend to attract alpha males. Like Yonci was talking about, I was raised by alpha male. I tend to attract those types of men. I think the problems that I've had in the past with men like that is that they want their voice to be the only one voice in the room, or the only sounding voice. So I need to have someone that is knows how to be strong, but is so sure of himself that he can have a woman that has a voice.
Yeah. I am going to do a quick little announcement for those of you who are watching on YouTube. Comment in the comments if there is a question in particular that you would want us to cover in the next week or the weeks following. If there's a particular question that you have, what I also want to encourage you is that if you have a debate that needs to be resolved, needs to be settled, you can give me that. You can DM me if you want it to be anonymous. You can DM me on Instagram, and I'll give my Instagram handle at the end. But if you have a question that needs to be solved, you have this whole beautiful panel here. who will weigh in. Clearly, we will not hold back. So we will. You are right,
Nope.
wrong.
Not my MO.
Look, what'd you say?
Not my MO to hold back.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're gonna get all the truth.
Listen, and that's what I wanted to say to LaShante. Like, I don't give everything at once. So, like, they'll never know all of my, but I'm just saying personality-wise, you're going to get who I am at the beginning. Like, I don't know how not to be me.
Girl, my personality is too big. I have to go slow. Like,
I mean, but look, if you can't take if you can't take the boldness of my personality, we are not meant to be together.
No,
I don't think my personality is too big. I think my personality is exactly what it needs to be. It's bold, it's bright, it's energetic. It brings greatness to a room. When I walk into a room, I'm a light, and everything attracts to me. And if you can't take it, I ain't it for you. That's what it is.
And it's so funny.
I perfectly agree with that. I think for me, it's like that's not my my big personality is not who I am all the time. It just depends on where I am at the time. So I'm multifaceted in a way that you're not gonna get all of that personality and boldness all the time. Sometimes, if I'm not entertaining anybody, I'm by myself. I'm quiet as a mouse. Like I have friends, and I'm the social person, so they always want me around. But there are times that I have to take breaks from that, and I have to
of course,
by myself, and
need to recharge
and be a whole hermit. And it's like I have to have that balance because I get burnt out socially, and it's too much of me. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's like you're not gonna get turned up, Shantae, all the time. Sometimes it's LaShante and she's in the house and you don't even know she's there. Like, are you okay here?
Right. Put your finger under the nose and she's still breathing.
Right. I'm in a corner reading a book for 6 hours. Like, there's a lot going on here. I'm like an onion. So
I love when Anthony says people come. Sorry to interrupt you. He said people come in layers. It's one thing to openly expose that there are layers, and another to intentionally hide them. That's
right. And I agree with that. Like, I'm not going to hide any part of myself. But I just need that person to understand that there are a lot of different things that I have going on.
So there are some good questions. I'm going to save them for next time because we're coming up on 2 hours. But some of them. So Anthony says, I want you ladies to describe what is an alpha to you. And then Just Humble Me Clark says, okay, what if you love your woman, but her children are going AF? That was funny. So we definitely have to get into that next week. I want to end on a fun topic. All right, this one is going to be just for fun. Name that struggle. What is a struggle that we had as kids that the youth of today just will never understand?
Not being able to DVR our Saturday morning cartoons. You had to have your ass up at like 6 a.m. to catch the lineup and eat your cereal and whatever and be out the house and be outside because your mama says you're not about to sit in her house and burn up her electricity all day. We wasn't able to come back in and watch them cartoons on the DVR. If you missed it, you just missed it. Okay?
Oh my God. Or someone wanted to watch something else on the channel. Or like I would rush
when you got siblings.
I hated it when it was a school night because we didn't have TV till the very end. My family was very strict. We got TV at the very end, and don't judge me. I would watch Friends, and certain shows would come on certain days. And I remember certain ones would come on so late, and I would try to stay awake to watch it. And I'm like, why is it gotta go off at 10 at night though? Like, man, able to DVR is like that was a good one.
Busy signals.
Because if you didn't watch it,
make a call. Busy signals.
I just got triggered. I literally got triggered right now by that. Like
that's what I was gonna say. Having one line in the house.
And that was my favorite one. I'm about to take all of y'all back.
And when you were waiting for your call and someone wouldn't get off the freaking phone.
When my mother was real about it. Get off my phone. I'm expecting a call. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
No, but my one was, remember when you weren't supposed to talk to boys? You were like a teenager, probably like 15, wasn't supposed to talk to boys. So you waited till everybody go to sleep and you be like, look, call me at this time and I'm gonna pick right up. Remember that? And you will unplug all the other phones just so yours would ring?
Yes.
Did you ever try to think if you heard breathing, you didn't know if your dad was listening, so you'd be like, hold on.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, it's like someone's breathing. You like, and then if you the sneak and you trying to listen and you try to be real careful, you gotta hit that hang up button, right? Hold it. Take the phone with the receiver, and then
lift it up.
Yes. Done it.
Listen.
You can eavesdrop on people's calls.
Yes.
Look, I was a professional at eavesdropping.
Wait a minute. We were the cheap ones who didn't want to pay for collect calls. So we literally, and what's funny is they ended up making a video about it, and we did it before.
What? She had a baby. It's a boy.
Literally, that was us. And then they made a video, a commercial. My mom, real talk, we would call her from the phone booth. For the kids who are watching, a phone booth was a device, a little built-in thing on a phone. Okay.
Right. We still have them in New York.
Oh, okay. We would go.
I think it's like 1 or 2 about them.
And they would say, please state your name. Like, Mom, volleyball practice ended early. Come pick us up in the front. And then they would say, do you have a collect call from Mom? Volleyball practice ended early. Pick us up in the front. Do you want to accept it? She goes, no. I'll see you there. And then hang up. We were so ghetto.
Hey, I mean, because collect calls were expensive.
Yeah, they were.
It works.
Oh my God! I remember.
Anthony in the comments got a good one.
What is it?
I would give them the phone
number.
That's
the one right there.
And they could call you.
No, you're right. And then wait, you waited the whole day for your song, right? And they start playing your song, and the freaking DJ won't shut up.
Oh, I hated that.
The whole song.
Or they keep throwing the hair. Like, no, just play the song, dude.
Mr. Magic back in the day.
And then wait, the panic and the fear when your song unexpectedly came on, and you had that moment of terror where you're like, I don't know if this is blank. Dear God, I hope it's blank. And you put the cassette tape and you push your little record. And
because you got to hit record and play at the same time.
That's right. That's
and you're praying that you're not copying over your other fire mixtape because you didn't with the marker on.
Or the dedications, the Midnight Love dedication. I just want to dedicate SW Week to my boo Tron from his boo Shantae. I love him so
goodness.
So much. So
yeah, I never did that because
I dated a guy out here who's like a very well-known DJ, and I better not. I was going to mimic his voice, and people would figure out who it is. Anyway, he has a very sultry voice, and he'll still do that. And I remember one time I called in just being stupid, and I was like, "Hi, my name's Yonci. I have a request." Doing the whole breathy thing, but it's still a thing. Like, they're still doing those types of things. It's hilarious.
Wow.
I had a boyfriend who was an aspiring DJ, and I must have been in like 11th grade, and I remember my family went on a vacation for 2 weeks, which was hell because I didn't have a cell phone. So I remember those little portable cassette players, the little Walkman.
Yes.
He was like, I made you a mixtape.
I've done that. Yeah.
Don't listen to it until you get like where you're going. And what he did was he did a whole radio station for me. So each day of the 2 weeks, he'd be like, today is Monday, this song goes out to, and he literally made an entire
That's hot.
for me. And I was so tempted to listen to Tuesday. I want to listen to the whole thing through, but he's like, nope. Each day you listen to the message that was for that day, and then he's like,
yeah, the mixtapes was serious.
Man, like, I know I'm missing you.
That joint was work. He put a lot of work in that.
That mixtape.
That's not like a Spotify. You just click share. Like, he's like, this is Thursday.
No,
I get to see you tomorrow.
It took him a week. It took him a week to make that mixtape.
Especially to get all of the songs.
This day, I cannot hear Cupid 112. I can't. I'll be thinking.
Oh, me too. Me too.
That was one of his songs.
That song.
Yeah.
Me too.
Anyone else have any struggles? Oh, they didn't. No more struggles. Yeah.
They ain't had no struggles like we had.
I mean, I honestly have so many moments in my day that I'm so grateful. I mean, I'm actively grateful because I do remember back in the day. Like, I remember Thomas Guides having to book 30-minute sessions before you got in the car, going to your Thomas Guide, finding the grid, mapping it out, and then God forbid halfway there a road is closed and you have to pull over, figure it all out, or our parents would text us when we finally they would do they'd page us on our little pager, and we'd have to pull over somewhere, find the phone, and then call, and then God forbid you got the dial tone, you got the Busy signal.
Busy signal, yeah.
Wait. Oh, I
Yes.
was waiting for people to call me back. Like you had things to do. You want to get on with your life and your day, but you're sitting around waiting for that phone call. That was so freeing when you.
These kids.
Oh my God.
They don't know what it's like to not be able to make calls till after 9 o'clock.
Yes, because
minutes wasn't free
you can use it anyway
until 9 o'clock.
Yes, girl, my minutes ain't
and
free.
you were so scared for your bill to come.
My minutes
Don't
ain't
get me
free.
started
My
on
minutes
that.
ain't free.
When you're scared when your bill came because you're like, did I go over my minutes? You trying to ration out your usage? Oh my God.
Listen.
Call me back. Call me back.
After 9, girl.
It's 3 after 9. It's 3 after 9.
It was a thing.
The things we did to survive.
I remember, this is my last one I'll share. Going to college, I got there right around the time cell phones were coming. And when we would try to book our classes, we had to sit on the phone. You literally would have to dial, and then it would give you the business. If you didn't get in, dial right back, because you want to be the first one to get the good classes. Everyone wanted Tuesday, Thursday. Nobody wanted Friday classes. And
but the dial was the one where you had to do this, not the buttons. It was yes.
Now that's taking it all the way back.
Yes.
The 8-track, the cassettes where the tape comes out. I remember calling in Best Buy, and I was trying to do something because I was trying to record, and technology got to the point where it was harder on piracy. So I wanted to do the hold down record button and tape the song that I needed to play. And I called the girl and I said, "Do you guys have cassette tapes?" She said, "What's that?" I said, "Do you have cassette tapes?" Cassette? She's like, "Is that like scotch or masking?" I said, "Oh my God."
Oh no.
She did not know. She had to get a manager, and she was.
That would have hurt my feelings. My feelings
I was like, wait, what?
I would have felt the like device. You put your finger in and roll it back up when the tape.
Anthony is giving us some good ones in this chat. I just think you should see these.
I was gonna say that when I would come home and turn the computer on and then go make my sandwich because I knew the dial-up would take so.
Oh yeah, that dial-up was something else.
Wait, but you remember when you got your AOL CD with the 1,000 hours, and you waited till you got a new one because you ran out of hours? Stop.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Did you guys do the age, sex, location in the little chat rooms? Remember Yahoo chat?
Yes.
Age, sex, location. Age, sex, location.
Yes.
Who remembers their AIM name?
You don't want to know.
I don't. Come on now, you can't tease us now.
It ties
I know mine
with 112. Mine was brown sugar 112.
I was about to say mine was like mocha.
Mine was brown sugar because my cousin's name was I don't want to say her actual name, but in the language it translates to brown sugar. And I thought that was so cute, so I was brown sugar. It wasn't sugar. It was brown sugar 112.
I was wonderful ace, like one O-N-E, they're full, like the word wonderful, but the word one ace, because I was an ace for my sorority, so I was like, oh, that's cool. Okay, that'll be my A. I was that girl. I was.
You say you don't remember?
No, I remember.
Big Daddy. What was it?
It was 4 J's and a K, because all of my kids' names plus mine begins with J, and my ex-wife's name was K, so it's 4 J's and a K.
It's kind of like JK, just kidding. That's ironic. The K had to go. Do we say the joy of that you've got mail sound? Oh my God, yes. Wait,
yes, loved it.
On a phone booth. That's even worse. On the phone booth. Oh my God. I think it's for me.
Used to camp out by the payphone.
Oh,
girl, call me at this time, at this number.
Oh my God. Well, that was hilarious.
Until the drug dealers took them over.
I cannot.
Right.
I want to say thank you so much. I'm going to wrap here. I want to, you guys have me cracking up. But I want to say thank you so much for you guys joining in. It would not be the same if it was just me talking head. So I so appreciate you guys taking the time, especially on the East Coast. It's so much later for you guys. So I'm going to get into a little bit of business. If you guys are watching this, I would say if you guys are watching, how are they not watching this? Obviously, watching this. For those of you watching this, if you would like to join in on the fun, we have a lot of fun on my Patreon page. You can do so with this little address right here. It's patreon.com/Yonci. I am so grateful, as I started out at the beginning, I'm so grateful for all the patrons who are in there. They are my Yoncers, my diehards. And I really, truly couldn't do it without them. I appreciate everybody who comes in at the beginning and is watching me do my thing and kind of find my place. It's really nice to have. Sorry, you guys, my little camera is waving. I'm wondering why I'm looking at it, but it's like I'm looking over here. So sorry, guys. Pardon my webcam. But if you guys would like to support, you can do that. I actually just announced today to my patrons that I've created a Facebook group because there's so much more you can do with Facebook. You can go live. You can, interact more. There's little rooms in there where you can do video chats and things like that. So we're taking it up a notch for my patrons. So if you guys are part of that, you guys get that. You also get shout outs on Instagram and a couple other things. So you can check it out and see what's there. But I want to say thank you so much for watching. We do this every Sunday, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which is 9 Central and 10 Eastern. And I'm always joined by a handful of friends. I never know which are going to show up, but I'm always glad for whomever they are. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you with that. You can see all my social media information here. I am on Facebook as Chasing Yonci. I'm on Twitter as Chasing Yonci. And shock of all shocks, I'm on Instagram as Chasing Yonci. Thank you so much. And if you would want to subscribe to my channel, you can do so by just clicking on the subscribe button and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of upcoming videos just like this. I drop content on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and of course, we're here every Sunday. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, tell someone that you love them.